Today is June 4th. It's been just over 1 month since I've moved, so I've got about a month of training under my belt. I wanted to give a little bit of a background as to what it is I'm doing, why I'm doing it, what I hope to get out of it, and whatnot. I rejected my graduate school offer in order to move to a different province and pursue weightlifting. That's something that probably sounds crazy to a lot of people, myself included. In April, I believe, I got an email from the Canadian Memorial Chiropractic College saying I'd been accepted to their graduate program to become a chiropractor, and that was going to start September of 2017. And I decided that, although a goal of mine, that was not a time-sensitive goal. I felt that that was something that I would be able to complete at a future stage in my life. I have always been somewhat entrenched by the pursuit of mastery, and I've always sort of just been encompassed by this idea of being the absolute best at something. And that something can take many forms. For some, it's playing an instrument. For others, it's learning languages. For me, the sort of passion that I've chose to pursue this pursuit of mastery along in my current stage of life is weightlifting. And I've been training in weightlifting for about 6 years now. I sort of got to this point where I said, okay, well, I can choose to delve completely into this, down this path and just train, or I can sort of move on with the rest of my life and go to graduate school. And I decided to choose the former. So I have chosen to basically, I mean, I've already done it at this point, but pack up everything I own and move to a new province to work with a very particular coach. I'm working with Jean-Patrick Millet. He runs First Pole, a website dedicated to providing a variety of resources for weightlifting. He is the former coach of George Kovalodzi, who won the 2014 Commonwealth Games. And I've known him for a number of years now, and sort of decided to take the leap and move out there to train with him. So what I want to get out of this is to answer the question of what if. I have, just like many other athletes, I have goals of competing internationally for Team Canada. I have dreams of competing at the Olympic Games. To me, all of those are just thoughts, and in order to turn those thoughts into action, I have to answer for myself, what if? What if I actually try and do this full time and I pursue it and I basically utilize every resource in my life and direct it towards one common goal, which is excelling in this sport. And if I can answer that what if question, I feel that I can either succeed with that stage or with that path of my life, or rest assuredly that I did everything that I could and I just wasn't good enough. I want to answer that question of what if more than I want to move on to the stage of my life that involves chiropractic school and moving on to pursue rehabilitation sciences. So over the next 7 years, I'm going to be documenting as much as possible, training related, not training related, just to have a project that I can work on, something that I can look back on and sort of to remember where I came from, and maybe at the end of 7 years, I haven't moved anywhere. My snatch and my clean and jerk have not raised at all, but maybe I come out of this whole trip with a bigger squat. Or at the very least, even if I fail, I answer the question of what if, and to me, that's the most important thing. So stay tuned, I guess, for the next really long time, and I'm gonna see what happens. Next week I have my graduation ceremony. As I had mentioned previously, I just finished university just about 2 months ago, so I'm gonna be driving all the way back to Kingston in order to go and pick up my diploma, shake some hands, kiss some babies, get a big fancy piece of paper, and so here we go. So these were some squats from Wednesday, May 31st. About the middle of the week, I was a little fatigued from volume at this point. Just a couple sets of 4 at 128 kilos. Come on, big. Come on, you gotta be the best. started to find that the squats were getting easier as the sets went on, which I've found. I don't know if that's just me, but I've found that quite often you sort of warm up to the weight by the third set. The third of 3 sets, I felt I was hitting a decent bounce out of the hole. The speed was a little bit better. Overall, posture wasn't too bad. And after that, I had a nice rest day in the middle of the week. So here was a little clean and jerk series that we did on Saturday. This was Saturday, June 3rd. It was an early morning session, which is a little bit of a weak point for me. I tend not to lift quite well in the mornings. I find my hands aren't warm. I can't hold the bar all that well. My body's kind of tight. I was working until about 3 in the morning last night before the session, and I think this was at about 11:30. So we had the same protocol for snatches, but shot footage for clean and jerks, triples, a set of 3, then a set of 2 at a slightly higher weight, and then a single at a slightly higher weight than that, and then that whole process would be repeated. So here's a set of 2 at 102 kilos. At this point in the session, I had warmed up a relative amount. My body is quite loose, so I moved a little bit better than the snatches, which took quite a bit of time to get through. I'll have to recognize to aim the camera a little bit lower. Right now I don't even have a tripod. My GoPro's just sitting in between 2 shoes, so I'll definitely have to invest in one. So that was my top single. So again, then we just repeated the cycle. So set of 3, higher set of 2, higher set of 1. We did that entire series of 3, 2, 1 3 times. My battery ran out after double after the set. But overall, it was all right. 96, 102, 109, I believe the weights were. Relatively crisp again for a morning session.